What is up, GOAT World? It is me, your boy JDZ, and I'm back at you again with another GOAT format video. We have just concluded the 68th PWCQ, and man, oh man, what a fantastic event. This is the final PWCQ of the 2024 GOAT format dueling season before we head to the GOAT format World Championship taking place on October 19th and 20th. You still have opportunities, last chance qualifiers coming up next week, but man, oh man, what a stellar event. And today, I got the top 8 deck lists for you guys coming up right now. So make sure you guys are locked in and engaged as we make our final push. I've just got back off a huge break. Thank you for everyone for coming by the stream. It was a fantastic stream, 7.5 hours. Go check it out. It is live, locked and loaded on the channel, so check that thing out. It was a good one. So we have 44 duels out here today, and here are the top 8 deck lists. Coming in at number 8, it was double elimination, so there was actually 2 6s, 2 5s, 2 4s, you know the vibes. But I just went 8th, and I think I numbered something wrong, but no big deal. We're gonna roll with it. We got Sui, number 7. Coming on in, playing this Chaos Turbo deck. Seems pretty standard, pretty regular. We are on Triple Jar of Greed. You don't really see that too much these days, but this duel still rocking with it. Great card, very chainable. You only have one unchainable trap card in that Mirror Force. You have the double Upstart Goblin, double Knight Assailant. Very standard, very regular. Side deck, same thing, very standard, very regular. This is going to be the deck of the format. You're going to see this deck highly featured in the GOAT Format World Championship taking place in 2 weeks. But huge shout out to you, Sui. I don't really recognize that name. I do like seeing names I don't recognize in these top 8s of the PWCQs and whatnot. Just showing that the game is still starting to evolve and more players are starting to find their way into the top cut. But huge shout out to you. Thank you for playing and congratulations on your top performance. Moving on to number 7. This says number 6, but really it's the 7th place. My bad. Again, the numbering a little bit off, but I'm not changing it. I'm too lazy, as Dueling High is going to be rocking and rolling with the Warrior strategy. Back at it again. This duelist has had an incredible dueling season, definitely in the top 10 caliber dueling season for the 2024. Duelist has several invites with Chaos Turbo and Warrior. Electing to go with Warrior for this one seems pretty standard a little bit. You kind of cut that Magician face for the main deck, electing to go with Spirit Reaper, more aggressive options. You do still have that main deck Mind Control, no spies in the main deck. You have the 2 Kaiku triple Blade Knight in the side deck. Seems like it's standardizing itself as well. You got those double King Tiger Wengu, triple GK Spy, Mystic Storm level 2, double Zombira, and the Sakuretsu armor is going to find its way into the side deck. Still that patent pending Book of Moon hanging out in the side deck as well. I think it's another incredible deck. A lot of people have been down on the Warrior strategy. They think it just hasn't been as consistent and performing as well as it used to in years past or months past, but I still think it's a very solid deck, and I think it will also be highly represented in the GOAT Format World Championship. So look forward to seeing Dueling High there. He's already got multiple invites. Again, shout out to you for another top finish in the final PWCQ. As we're moving on to, I believe this is also a 5th place deck. Tied for 5th place, we have Fante. Want some Fante? Fante. Getting it in with this Chaos Turbo deck, locked in and engaged. Very standard, very regular Chaos Turbo deck. You did change it up a little bit. You're back on the Wing Blast situation. I know a lot of the Chaos Turbo players have kind of resolved that whole issue and decided that Regeki Break is probably going to be the trap card of choice, but you're sticking with it. You got to play the cards that you enjoy, as Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer is going to find his way to the main deck. Tsukiyomi is going to be the 21st monster, and the side deck you're going to go with that Chaos Control type side. You kind of saw this kind of picking up a lot of steam a little bit earlier in the season. I know Ludovico Rizzo played this in the GOAT Format World Championship. I think this is the same deck, I want to say. I would have to look it up, but it looks very similar to the deck that the reigning GOAT Format World Championship, the reigning GOAT Format World Champion played, but I still think it's a very solid strategy to kind of help combat your worst matchup against the aggressive stuff. You go into a more control deck, Chaos Control deck with the Scapegoats and Meta, and then you vibrate there. You got triple Mind Control is going to be in the side deck. You still got Card Destruction, Mobius, and another Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer. I love this deck. I think this one's super solid, very flexible, versatile to a lot of matchups, and you're going to get to do what you want to do, as Fante is going to get a top performance. Again, another duelist name that I really don't recognize. I know I've been gone for a while, and players are starting to kind of find their legs toward the end of this season. I haven't seen this duelist making a top cut, but I like to see new names coming on in here, as Fante is trying to make a nice push. We'll hopefully see this duelist in the last chance qualifiers, and maybe they can make it to the GOAT Format World Championship in 2 weeks. As we got tied for 5th as well, we have the perennial all-star open and shut case for Player of the Year. Again, this duelist is absolutely stellar. You guys know who it is. You know what time it is. We're back at it again with the Chaos Turbo deck. They changed the recipe a little bit. You got the Sakuretsu armor has found its way into the main deck to help combat the aggressive decks, I would assume, that have been plaguing the PWCQ circuit for weeks and weeks now, and months, I would say. You got the 21st monster, Tsukiyomi, is going to be in there, still on triple Dust Shoot in the main deck, double Jar Greed in the main deck. Everything else, super standard, super regular. We're going triple Dekoichi, triple Spy, Vibrate Vigorously. We got the triple Zombira in the side deck for consistency's sake, and also those triple Solemn Judgments in the side deck. You also are going to see the Card Destruction is going to be in the side deck, along with the Swords of Revealing Light. Everything else, super standard, super regular, very bread and butter Chaos Turbo deck played by one of the best players in the game. Locked in, doing what he's got to do. We'll definitely see this Duelist at the Go Format World Championship, and I think he's odds-on favorite right now, currently, to kind of make a deep run in that thing. So look out for Anthony Alvarado in the GOAT Format World Championship coming up in a few weeks. As we move on to the top 4, we have 4th place. We have El Duelist Pokedex coming in with another Warrior deck. So we got Chaos Turbo and Warrior still battling each other out, trying to figure out who is going to break serve and who is going to make the deep run, as this deck is probably in the best position to be the counter to Chaos Turbo, as it has always been for quite some time now. But you're electing to just go do it in your own way. You kind of added some tech in here, a little bit of spice. Your cards you don't really see too often. You got the DD Assailant, which is super interesting, man. I think this card was heavily played by our ancestors in the early rendition of GOAT Format the first time around, and people kind of got it out of favor because it just isn't light, it isn't dark, it doesn't have, you know, the most impressive stats. But that 17-16, specifically that 16, is so good sometimes, and it helps give you another resistant guy against Tsukiyomi, whereas you have the Donzaluk, the DD Warrior Lady. Now you have this guy. This guy can trade with the Chaos Monsters if they're in attack position. This guy can wall out certain things if it's in the defense position with that 1600. I think it might be good enough to be played, and it definitely has some great effects throughout this tournament, especially in that mirror match situation. Kaiko the Ghost Warrior is going to be at 2. Blade Knight's going to be at 2. Everything else seems super solid. We are going to be also engaged with this Zing Zin Hu is going to be in the side deck. That's another card that had absolute lasting effects in this tournament. I saw this thing shutting people down. Zing Zin Hu, super strong card. Double Smash is going to be in the side deck. I think it's really neat. El Duelist Pokedex has made some top performances in past. Vive Cristo has made some top performances, but, you know, still trying to make that push. We're getting to the end. We're getting to the end. There's not a lot of opportunities left to make it to the GOAT Format World Championship, and you made it to the top 4. Still not quite good enough, but you are on your way. And maybe we'll see you in the LCQ and you can get over that threshold. As we're moving on to number 3. Number 3, we got Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider is already invited to the GOAT Format World Championship as well, playing a Ghost Rider special out here. If you notice, this Duelist is not playing the Trap card, Trap Does Shoot, which is very incredible. You don't really see that too often either. I think Trap Does Shoot in this Chaos Turbo deck has proven itself time and again that it is a solid pick. But Ghost Rider electing to go with triple Jar Greed, triple Solemn Judgment, triple Regeki Break, just for that consistency's sake. There might be something to that as well. You got the main deck, Mask of Darkness, with just the single Dekoichi, the Battle Channel Locomotive, is going to be in there. You can, in time, set up that loop. And we mentioned that a couple times on the stream. Mask of Darkness with Solemn Judgment, you can kind of lock your opponent out of the game. I think that is cool enough. And honestly, that 900 attack with 2-star is not the worst thing in the world either. That 900, if you keep getting in, your opponent might just kind of absorb that, but those 900s add up really, really quick. I mean, 900 is almost 1,000. It might be good enough, you know, sometimes, but still, I think it's a really cool card. I think it's an underutilized card with the heavy trap lineup that Ghost Rider is playing. But I think it's a solid deck, very Ghost Rider type turbo deck. In the side deck, you still have a very, very, very big anti-warrior measure playing with a triple Sakuretsu armor, triple Zumbira, actually adding the Blade Knight back in. You have the bottomless trap hole technology coming back in, and also the Trench Tribute is going to be in there too. So a lot of units coming in for those aggressive decks, and then you're going to come on in with a heavy trap lineup. I don't hate it. Regeki Break, very versatile card, still quite chainable. You don't have the Solemns can't move, and the Mirror Force can't be chained as well, but these cards are very cool, and this is a solid Chaos Turbo deck from the Ghost Rider, as he is going to be featured in the GOAT Format World Championship as well. So look forward to seeing him out there doing his thing, and congratulations for another top performance. As we move on to second place with the Spice of Life, Ludi Pablione coming in from Croatia. The Croat is out here getting it in with the Spice Factory, and this Duelist has been on a heater from what I understand. I know I've been on hiatus for a while, but they won PWCQ number 67. Unfortunately, I didn't have the time to make that video and do the top 8 coverage. I've been kind of slacking on my video output. I'm going to work on that. We're going to be back at it again, you know, but I was able to see this deck, and it was absolutely cooking. The deck was doing its thing. It was moving. Again, I mentioned earlier about that DD Assailant. This is another warrior deck. We're going to call this a warrior deck because it's basically a warrior deck, but you got some tech in here, that DD Assailant and that main deck Cyberstein, which is just absolutely incredible. I think the card's cool. I think that is one of the most underplayed, undervalued cards in GOAT format. Granted, it does have its own deck, a Cyberstein Reasoning Gate type strategy, but This card, as a tech or as a just add-in, you'll just never see it coming. This thing can steal games. It was absolutely taking games from people, just bringing out a guy and, you know, turning your extra deck into a toolbox kind of thing. We saw some Dark Blade, the Dragon Champions come out. We saw some King Dragoons come out, you know, Gatling Dragon, you know, and in opportune moments, and it could just absolutely steal games. You also have that Mataza the Zapper. It's going to be in the main deck. Just another toolbox card. Rhoda for Mataza. That's 26. Plus a Master of Oz. Think about it, man. That's just a lot of damage that is just piling up very, very quickly. And then you could just be supported by this very strong Warrior Core that is going to be in the rest of your deck. You also have those GK Spies that are going to be in your main deck as well. I think this deck is really solid, and it hits you from a lot of different angles. I don't hate what I see Ludi Plablione cooking here. It seemed like something they've been working on a lot. Main deck, Book of Moon. You're going to be rocking that one of Solemn Judgment. Solemn Judgment at Cyberstein, that's typically going to be because you got the Solemn Judgment, you got the Cyberstein, you got the Duo, you got the Premature Burial. You are spending a lot of life points, man. So that can kind of conflict, but it seems like this deck can be moving so fast sometimes you're not really worried about it. You just play the cards as they come and just give yourself the most weapons to attack your opponent in the most opportune ways. So I think that's really cool. In the side deck, we have the double Assura Priest, still going to be on the Assura gang. Got the one Bogo, still going to be on the Bogo gang. We got the Kinetic Soldier and the Injection Fairlily. So we got even more payments coming in, but again, that's another card, and we saw that to great effects as well. That Injection Fairlily, sneak attacking people, stealing games. I mean, you get that thing in the graveyard, premature it back, 34 right on top of the Nugget, man. It steals games. It's a very, very great card. Cyberstein, Injection Fairlily, Mataza the Zapper, all those cards can just pour on a lot of damage. I think those are cool things. The 1-0 Scapegoats, I don't get it. Not gonna lie, I don't understand that one. I mean, it's in there and it vibed out, it worked out. There's no conversion with that at all. There's no like meta, no creature swap. You just got in there for a little bit of defense, maybe something chainable against a Reasoning Gate. You could probably throw that in there. But there's really nothing. I don't get that one. But still, it's a vibe, man. You got to play the cards you vibe with. Shout out to you, Ludi Pablione, already going to the GOAT Format World Championship again, invited, and we're going to say congratulations to you, and we'll see you there, and maybe you can get another invite in the last chance qualifier. But coming on in, #1 in first place, we have Jay Harris 88. Okay, Jay Harris 88 has been on this grind for a really, really long time. If you get on the ladder, he's always at the very top of the GOAT Format rated ladder on duelingbook.com. Plays a lot of GOAT Format, goes to a lot of tournaments, and has had some bad beats here at the end of it. He gets make these deep runs, he gets these bad beats, gets sacked very heavily, and just loses like right on the cusp a lot of time. A lot of second place finishes, a lot of third place finishes, a lot of top performances, but just never could win. And he's definitely one of those players that it's a lot of players in our game that are just so close to just getting that win. And he finally pushed through on the very last opportunity in the PWCQ to get that push, and made it in playing this Chaos Turbo deck. Only Chaos Turbo deck, I believe, with the main deck card destruction. I might have to go back. I might be misspeaking there, but you do have the card destruction in the main deck, which I think is, you know, that's a hit or miss. That's one of those very high volatile cards. And if it works out for you, it's your day, and it's going to be the way it goes. As you got the card destruction in there, you got the 10 spells, 10 traps. You got the double jar, triple Regeki Break. This is the second deck we've seen with triple Regeki Break main. You know, that's interesting. You got the double shooter main. You got the TT and the Mirror Force main. In the side, you got the one Assura Priest for the goats and whatnot. You have the Tech Ceasefire, which I know Insidious has been testing this card and having some great effects with it. Card can steal games. I mean, it's playable. I saw some Magic Cylinders in there. I meant to mention that. It's playable. I think right now, because everyone is, well, not everyone, this deck is not playing Solemn Judgment at all, but still, I think just to deny your opponent those flip effects sometimes, I think Ceasefire is a little bit more playable than people will lead it on. It is a -1, but still, I think the card is quite good. But still, I just wanted to quickly go over these top 8 deck lists and kind of discuss what I think the meta is going to be coming up for the GOAT Format World Championship. I do believe that it's still going to be more of what we've been seeing. There's going to be a lot of Chaos Turbo, and there's going to be a lot of aggressive decks, and where they clash and where they meet is going to decide the fate of the future of the GOAT Format World Championship. If you want to enter the GOAT Format World Championship, we still have 3 last chance qualifiers coming up. Make sure you get into the description, get into the Discord, and join up to those things and play if you wish to participate. If you don't, we will be streaming that event live on this channel, so make sure you stay tuned, turn your notification bells on, like and subscribe. That's all I have. I just quickly want to bring you guys these decks. As always, I'm JDZ. I play GOATs. Until the next time, shout out to the real ones. Salute to the OGs. Peace.